Hey, what's up everyone? It's Hopper here. Just wanted to give you guys my thoughts on Batman vs Superman. As you can see, I'm a big Batman fan. I'm a big fan of DC, so I wanted to share that with you guys, what I thought about the movie. Also, it's my first time doing this, so please be gentle. As some of you guys may know, I was lucky enough to attend the world premiere in New York City, Radio City Music Hall.
The Gotham show.
Take a
Jonathan
look at
is
this
still
setup right here.
smiling. He can't wipe the smile off of his face. It's so good.
What can I say about that experience? It was freaking awesome. You know, I felt like I was on top of the world. Full warning, this is a spoiler video. I'm gonna spoil the crap out of this movie. So if you haven't watched it, go ahead, bookmark this video, save it for later, do what you call yourself, leave yourself a message, write a note. I gotta come back and watch Hopper's video and then come back and watch it. But if you don't mind spoilers, you know, stay here and see what my thoughts are. Alright, so here we go, full warning, spoilers ahead. Alright, you still here? Cool, now let's talk about Batman vs Superman. Alright, my expectations for this movie was through the roof. You know, I was waiting a long time for this movie. It got delayed. I was so hyped for it. I wanted to love this movie more than any other movie, any other superhero movie. Then I wanted to love it more than Deadpool. How about that? Alright, so let's talk about the movie a little bit. Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman were all top-notch in this movie. Gal Gadot was great as Wonder Woman, whether she was playing Diana Prince or she was playing her role as Wonder Woman. I think she did the character justice, no pun intended. I'll be the first to admit that I was a bit skeptical when she was cast as Wonder Woman, but I'm glad she proved me and I'm sure quite a few people wrong. Either way, great job. 2 thumbs up. Batman, what can I say? He's my homeboy. I think Batman was spectacular. For the most part, I loved everything that this Batman had to offer. His movement style reminded me of the Arkham games, which is a great thing. I didn't mind how brutal was. His brutality on this movie was off the wall. Ben Affleck as Batman, by the way, was freaking unbelievable. He was freaking ripped for this movie, so great job, Ben Affleck. His overall look, in my opinion, was perfect for the tone of this character. His suit looked awesome, the colors looked awesome. It was, to me, it was a great looking Batman. Well, if you like Batman, you gotta like his alter ego, which is Bruce Wayne, and I've got to say, I like them both. I think it's safe to say, in my opinion, to say that this Batman right here, this version of this Batman, is pretty much one of my favorite Batmans right now. Now, for all the things that I did like about Batman, there are a couple things that I did not like. On this movie right here, he just didn't seem like ahead of the curve. You know, I'm used to Batman being 3, 4, 5 steps ahead of everyone else. Batman is the world's greatest detective, for crying out loud. And here we have a matured Batman who's been around for years now, and yet I felt like he had no idea what was going on with pretty much anything. The only thing that Batman knew in this movie, in my opinion, is that Lex Luthor had kryptonite and that he wanted to kill Superman. That's it. Speaking about killing, Batman literally kills, straight up murdered. Batman's whole code is all about that, not killing. He's better than the criminals. So answer me this, how are there any villains or any criminals left in Gotham City? The whole relationship between the Joker and Batman is all about that. The Joker constantly pushing Batman to the edge, to that fine line, trying to get him to kill, trying him to break his own code. And Batman is constantly proving him wrong. Now, Superman. I think Henry Cavill is a great Superman. I think he fits the part well, and he certainly looks the part. This Superman is exactly the Superman of Man of Steel. You don't make really no connection with Superman. I never got the sense that I cared about what Superman was doing. I think he was just there, which kind of says a lot because that plays a major role at the end of this movie. I think the whole cast did a great job. You know, we had Alfred, Jeremy Irons, we had Lois Lane, Amy Adams, Perry White, Lawrence Fishburne, Jesse Eisenberg as Lex Luthor. I didn't know how I was gonna feel about him. I didn't hate him. I didn't like him. You know, it is what it is. All right, let's talk about the battle. Both Batman and Superman did their thing during the fight. It was incredible to see. It was almost an exact replication of The Dark Knight Returns. On the fight, Batman is using all his gadgets. He's got some sonic blast. Superman is just like shrugs that off. He's like, get out of here. He's got his automated turrets, probably 50 cals shooting for them. Superman just rises up, blasts this thing with his IV. No problem, no problem. But Batman, being Batman's got one more gadget, and that's kryptonite, bitch. What you gonna do now? And once Batman has the kryptonite, the fight becomes a little bit more even, and they kind of go toe to toe, which is freaking awesome. All right, let's talk about this movie as a whole now. This is where things get, you know, a little bit all over the place. This movie, the whole beginning plot of this movie was there's an instance that happens in Africa, and Superman was there, and a whole bunch of people got killed. Some terrorists got killed, some village people got killed, and they think Superman did it, and they need to know what he stands for. Even though everybody's been shot to death, why would Superman shoot anyone? That just gets Superman more and more unsure of what he's doing here. Let's talk about the dream sequence that Bruce Wayne has while trying to decrypt some data that he got from Lex Luthor, which, by the way, Wonder Woman steals from Bruce Wayne just to find out that she can't decrypt it, so she gives it back to Bruce Wayne so he can decrypt it. Just leave it alone, woman. Come on now. We're on the same team here. He has a vision from the Flash. I'm sure you've seen this on the trailer, he's on the desert. You see an Omega symbol that represents Darkseid, and also you see the parademons, which also resembles Darkseid. We also get a glimpse of where they're trying to take Superman in this universe, which I don't think a lot of people are gonna like. Yeah, so you see Batman on the desert fighting a bunch of guys, and all these soldiers have a Superman patch on them. Now, when Batman wakes up, he sees the Flash traveling through time and yelling something at him. And he's just telling him, you know, Lois is the key. You were right about him all along. This is where it leads me to thinking where I know they're going with the story. And they're going into the Injustice storyline. And if which you don't want to know of, pause right here, skip about 30 seconds ahead, and then continue. So the Injustice storylines go something along these lines. The Joker blows up Metropolis. He tricks Superman into killing Lois, which at the time when he kills her ego sprego sends Superman over the edge. He finds out he gets tricked. He searches for the Joker, ultimately punches him through his chest. Yes, he kills the Joker. So Superman is finally tired of all the crap. He goes, F this. He establishes his own government, in which, guess what? He's the leader. Obviously, Batman doesn't go along with it, thinks he's doing something wrong, and boom, they're enemies again. If you didn't know anything about the comics or some of the animated series or anything in the genre, if you were just there to watch this movie, you had no idea what was going on. You were just looking around like most of the people in the theater were going, the fuck? Alright, let's talk about the villains a little bit now. So Lex Luthor orchestrates this huge elaborate plan to get Superman and Batman to do battle, right? By the time we figured out that Lex Luthor is behind all of this deception, he already knows everything he needs to know about both characters, both Batman and Superman. He knows Superman is Clark Kent. He knows where he grew up. He knows who his mom is. He knows what candy bar he likes. He knows when the first time he cried. He knows when his heart was broken for the first time. He knows when he had his first cavity. He knows everything. Lex Luthor also explains that he's the one that's been sending Bruce Wayne all these. Well, technically, he doesn't say Bruce Wayne, but he says, all it took me was a couple of letters. I let your family die to send them over the edge. So does that imply that Lex Luthor also knows that Batman is Bruce Wayne, or Bruce Wayne is Batman? So if he has an advantage over these two characters, right? He has an advantage over Superman and he has one over Batman. Instead of trying to use that knowledge to get whatever you want from them, you want them to fight. And the only time Lex Luthor had a problem with Batman was when Batman stole the kryptonite from Lex Luthor. So did he envision all of this 2 years ago? Because he's been sending these letters to Bruce Wayne for a few years now, right? Remember when I mentioned that Batman stole some files from Lex Luthor? Well, it just so happens that Lex Luthor had evidence. He already had evidence of all the other characters of the Justice League. Which brings me back to my point previously that Batman did not know ish. Lex Luthor was the smartest character in this movie. Batman and Superman become friends. Obviously, Lex Luthor has to find an alternative in trying to kill Superman. So he gains access to Zod's ship. The ship asks Lex Luthor if he wants to take command of the ship. The ship then asks Lex Luthor if he wants to know all the knowledge that they've gained for over a century. I mean, don't make it any easier for him. So he grabs Zod's body, throws it in a pool, and the ship goes, what you're trying to do is forbidden. I'm Lex Luthor, do it anyway. Guess what? The ship does it. So Lex's resolution to kill a godlike figure is to create a supreme godlike figure that if he kills Superman, no one can stop. And that's how we get Doomsday. But I understand. We need a big, powerful villain so our three heroes can unite. Now the battle, on the other hand, the battle was okay. I wasn't blown away. It wasn't one of those battles that kept you on the edge of your seat the whole time. Like I said, the battle was just okay. So how does the battle end? The battle ends with Superman sacrificing himself to kill Doomsday. And what impact does that have on everyone? Zero. Nobody cared. Nobody cared about the death of Superman. No one has made a connection with Superman. Even Superman doesn't know what he's doing here. You know what I'm trying to say? It made no sense for them to play this card this early. Death of Superman is such a big moment everywhere else that I can't believe it was done this poorly. Bottom line was, no one cared that Superman died, okay? Either you knew that he's gonna come back for another movie, on the Justice League movie, or you just weren't invested into the character in this Superman, this version of Superman. So that death right there literally did nothing. The introduction of the Justice League on this movie was a little bit out of place for me as well. Just the whole way they went about it. It's like they just threw it in the middle of the movie. Wonder Woman gets a file from Bruce Wayne, the file that he decrypted, sends it to her. He sees a picture of her, and he sends her a couple of extra files that says Metahumans on it. She clicks on it, we get to see a little video of the Flash, Aquaman, and Cyborg. Now, I know Zack Snyder is not a big fan of post-credit movie scenes. He doesn't look to, you know, the catchy little extra scenes that Marvel puts at the end of their movies. But this right here was a perfect example that he could have used. This could have been easily a Bruce Wayne moment at the end, you know, in the Batcave, mourning Superman's death. And he could have been there looking through the files, and he sees this file called Metahumans. He clicks on it. He sees all these other metahumans that he's obviously doesn't know anything about. He makes a connection between what happened earlier with his vision and this, and now he's like, okay, I've got to find these guys. I was never bored throughout the movie. It was a very big moment for me. I wanted to see, you know, my favorite character, Batman versus Superman, and you get to see Wonder Woman. Overall, like I said, I just liked it, didn't really love it. I think the writers and the studio and Zack Snyder could have come up with something much better than what they came up with. I can't believe that they're getting paid the big bucks, let's say, and this is the best that they can come up with. My thoughts on this is pretty simple. I think Warner Brothers should just gather some fans, put them together in a room, and see what kind of story the fans come up with. The writers and the director, I don't think they're doing the characters that we've come to know and love justice at all. Give the fans control. Come on, Warner Brothers. One good example that I personally have is that on Man of Steel should have been a totally different movie. It should have been an introduction of Superman to the world. Lex Luthor could have been the villain in Man of Steel. By the end of Man of Steel, we should have been in love with Superman, or at least adore the character enough to care about that character. We should have known what he stands for and know that he was here to do good. And the character himself, Superman, should have known that we wanted him here because he gave humanity hope. This movie could have been about Clark Kent actually being Clark Kent, being a reporter, investigating on the Batman, seeing that there's another superhero just across the bay. Maybe he doesn't like the way Batman is going about some things and he's dipping his toe on Batman's business, and that's where it gets them to battle. And how do they come together? By bringing in a bigger villain. And who could that bigger villain be? General Zod. General Zod had his officers with him. It would have been the first, I think, major test for Superman, because let's face it, Superman should have never won that battle in Man of Steel against Zod. Zod was bred to be a soldier. Superman never fought in his life. So now that you have Zod and his officers, and it's an alien threat, it's a bigger threat than Superman has ever faced, what is he gonna do? He's gonna need help. You know, you don't have just General Zod, you have his officers too. So there they can come together. You know, if this movie had gone that way, the first Justice League movie could have been something else. And if it was, by that time, if it was the Superman that we cared and loved, can you imagine the impact that the death of Superman would have had with the audience? I just want to thank everybody who clicked and watched this video. Like I said, it's my first time doing one of these. The main reason why I'm doing this video is because, you know, Batman's my homeboy. What can I say? Leave me some comments. Let me know what you thought about the movie. Let me know how much of a bitch session this was. You know, I didn't mean to be, but it just became one. What can I do? What can I do? I'm a passionate fanboy. I hope you really enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching. And once again, subscribe to my channel. And I'll leave all the links below where you can follow me, all my plugs on Twitter, Facebook, and everywhere else. Alright? Thanks for watching the video, guys. See you.